So there's new reports that The Rock is not going to be at WrestleMania. It could be a big swerve and that they're all lying, but I gotta know, what's the plan?
Right, Sterling, what's the plan?
So let's look at some contenders. Let's look at some possibilities, some matchups if The Rock does not show up.
Nope.
One of the options that we have here on the list, there's a lot of them, and you guys tell me what you like to see. Night 1 or Night 2, Matt, let's just stick with Night 2 for now, but Roman versus CM Punk, Night 2 of WrestleMania. Now, CM Punk's story coming out of Monday Night Raw recently was that he points to the invisible WrestleMania sign and he's saying, I'm going to WrestleMania. He's got favors in his pocket for Paul Heyman to use, and you gotta figure he's gonna get in that main event, Night 1 or Night 2. One of the possible matchups we could see if The Rock is not available, they could, over the next couple of months, give us Roman versus Punk at Night 2 of WrestleMania for the control of the wise man. Leading up to that, you could have Roman get rid of Solo, he gets his Ulafala back, but there's all the tensions in the family and the drama, and it could swing Roman Reigns back to CM Punk. Punk could be thinking that he's going to be dealing with Seth and all of that, but then there's the whole situation with the wise men. They can make that story work very easily because I thought that sit-down cinema promo they did together was awesome. I thought the moments at the end of Survivor Series were great, and it left a lot of questions. And if they don't do it at 41, they can certainly do it at SummerSlam or the year after, but that is one possible matchup. You could do Cody versus Roman 3 if you really wanted to go down that path. Roman Reigns has not changed in his mind as a character. He's still the same Roman Reigns. And one of the things that is still on his list is he talked about he wants to get that title back. And if they were really stuck, they could do Cody Roman 3 once again, but this time the dynamic would be different and you would almost have a face versus face. The problem there is Cody ain't trying to finish his story. He's just trying to maintain his story and just get another chapter out of this whole thing. And you could end up with Roman being the huge babyface. You could risk that fans would boo Cody Rhodes. You can't have that. So I don't think that is very likely. That is kind of like very low on the list, almost like emergency break glass. Just throw Cody and Roman together in the ring. Okay, another one, and an obvious one, Night 1 or Night 2, but if you don't got The Rock, you could really do this as a Night 2 and it would work. Punk versus Seth Rollins. Now, would this be for the World Heavyweight Championship? We don't know. But if you did throw the world title in there, could really work. I could see them over the next several months really getting Seth Rollins' character shifted and make him a big nasty heel again, having great motivation for it, and really like evolve his character where he's just he's not taking any more crap of this and he wants to do everything in his power to stop CM Punk and get rid of him out of his life and out of his WWE. You could get Seth to capture the world title off of Gunther in the new year before WrestleMania, and you could set up that blood feud between the two of them. They have several months. It's a story that they have been wanting to tell. Punk is like, it's Cody, Roman, Punk as your biggest draws in WWE today. Top merch sellers are like Rhea, Jey Uso, Yeet, Roman, Cody, and Punk. Those are some of the top people. You're gonna have Punk in that main event, I feel. And it'd be a great story, and if you're a CM Punk fan or not, but if you are a fan, you're gonna be able to see them tell that great story for several months. Either he wins the Royal Rumble, he wins at Elimination Chamber, punches his ticket, he cashes in the favor of Paul Heyman, and he gets that main event spot. Another twist on that though, you could do for Mania main event, Night 1 or Night 2, Punk, Seth, Gunther. If Gunther holds on to the title, if he finds his confidence once again, because they're telling that story with him, if they make things work out and they keep Gunther with that world title, you could insert him into it as a three-way. Three-ways aren't always my favorite.
That's what she said.
It kind of muddles things up a little bit, but you do get the intrigue of, well, can Gunther retain the title against Punk and Seth? If you go back to the previous year, you did have moments in the ring where you had Punk talking about how he wanted to go after Gunther in the world title. You did get Seth and Gunther in the ring as well. They could get Gunther in, and frankly, he's got the world title. Like, they gotta they're building him down a little bit. You gotta get him back up there at the tippy top. Another option for a match, and you get into the Punk stuff. You got Cody versus CM Punk. You could do that as the favor. Punk has said that he doesn't think about Seth Rollins at all, and he's really just trying to punch his ticket to WrestleMania. He's going to cash in those favors. You could have Punk go more heelish if he's going to leverage Paul Heyman. He could go after Cody Rhodes. He's dropped little things of finishing his story, and he's just kind of like poking at Cody. An easy story to tell. We've seen those two go face to face the previous year leading up to WrestleMania, when there was the possibility, when Punk wasn't injured, it was a possibility during the Royal Rumble, hey, is Punk gonna win this thing? And a match between a babyface Cody Rhodes and a heel CM Punk who's trying to do anything he can to win the belt It could be really good. It's a blockbuster main event. And it feels to me that matchup of Cody versus Punk, who ends up being a heel, more aggressive, feels more in line with Austin and Rock WrestleMania 17, even with the McMahon finish. If you look back at that, you had two of the biggest baby faces in the Attitude Era going at it in the main event of WrestleMania. I think you could tell a similar story where you have Cody and Punk baby faces going into Mania for the WWE Championship. It is the title. Like, I'm sorry, world title is great. Cody's title is bigger title. It's the undisputed title. So for WWE, that is the belt. And if you're CM Punk, you want the belt, the main belt, Cody's belt. But you could tell the babyface story in the ring the whole way through, only for Paul Heyman to come out maybe at the end of that, side with CM Punk to help him out, slide in the chair, very much like a McMahon and Austin situation, and Punk goes nasty heel, wins the title, and that way you got everyone kind of stunned at how aggressive and heelish he acted during the match. It babyfaces Cody Rhodes even more, gives him sympathy, he lost his title, and off you go with CM Punk in kind of a reign of terror. And he's got his wise man back. The more I think about that story and like what it would mean, I want to see that a lot more than Rock coming back. But what about Roman Reigns? If we're not gonna get Roman and Rock at WrestleMania 41, what do you do with the Tribal Chief? Now, I assume he's going to beat Solo from now until WrestleMania, and he's gonna get that Ula Fala. Could you do Roman versus Solo at Mania? Probably not. It's probably not a big enough match. I'm sorry, they've done a good job of building Solo up. Solo's way more entertaining now than he's been in the past. But Solo versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania isn't really a main event match. Would you want to see it? I don't know. I'm not really, I mean, if it was just like Roman versus Solo for the Ula Fala, I feel like we're stretching it out too far. Another Roman Reigns match you could do, it's just more of like a personal favorite like I would want to see, Roman versus Jacob Fatu. If they can build Jacob Fatu to be superseding Solo Sikoa in the rankings, and they can push Jacob as an even bigger threat than Solo, then you could do Jacob versus Roman at Mania. You could even put Jacob Fatu over Roman Reigns, telling a more intriguing story, but it's Roman Reigns. Like, Tribal Chief doesn't lose.
I'm squeezing the life out of him.
But one story with Roman that I really wouldn't mind seeing right now, and we just saw his return, Drew McIntyre versus Roman Reigns. Now hear me out. You got a really healed up Drew McIntyre right now who hates everybody. He just hates Punk, he hates Seth, Sammy, Jay, he just hates everybody, and he's all bitter and disgruntled. You can tell right now a very compelling story of Drew McIntyre being a nasty heel, going up against Roman Reigns because of everything Roman did to him during the Bloodline saga, and he has all the heat in the world with guys like Sammy and Jay going back to Roman Reigns and siding with him, and Drew hates all of it. So you could tell a story along the way to WrestleMania of Drew taking out Sammy, taking out Jay, all these members of original Bloodline to get to Roman Reigns, because now you have the tables turned and Drew is a heel, Roman is a face, and you could have those two go at it one more time, but this time at WrestleMania, no titles involved, just for Drew to try to get his comeuppance on Roman Reigns. I think that'd be a good revenge story. Now, you did have Drew lose last time, like Clash of the Castle against Roman Reigns, but you could have Drew go over, and that would boost Drew up even higher since he lost the whole trilogy thing against CM Punk, the final match, the Hell in a Cell. But I think for a Bloodline related story, that one could really work. Could you do a multi-person Bloodline match at WrestleMania? WWE is not adverse to doing tag team matches, multi-man matches for the Mania main events anymore. We had the Usos versus Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn for night one for the tag team titles, which was crazy. And then the last one at 40, you had the Rock Roman tag team match against Seth and Cody for night one. So they're not opposed to tag team matches. Do you do another Roman Reigns tag team match? Him and Punk against the Bloodline? Maybe not. But Roman and somebody else going up against Solo and Jacob Fatu. Don't really see it if The Rock's not involved. Don't think you're just gonna slide Roman Reigns into a tag team match and nothing else is going on. But a Bloodline multi-person match, kind of like they've done with War Games, but do elimination style tag match where it's Bloodline versus Bloodline one final time. The Ula Fall, everything is on the line, and then you could have them be triumphant one final time against New Bloodline. Now, I don't like that one as much. But one I do want to see, and it would really work, and they're telling the story right now, Cody versus Kevin Owens versus Randy Orton, triple threat for the WWE Championship at Mania. That is a heavy hitter match with a lot of personal stories at stake and a lot of intrigue, where you do have right now You got Kevin Owens versus Cody Rhodes for Saturday night's main event. Randy Orton is an X Factor, taken out by Kevin Owens with a pile driver. You know Randy's going to want to get back at Kevin Owens, but is he also going to want to get involved with Cody and turn it into a triple threat? The history of Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes is right there. You got more of an X Factor in a very big heel Kevin Owens, who's bitter and hates everything because of the bloodline and Cody and tagging with Roman Reigns, all this stuff. You have so much motivation behind it. And again, night 1 or night 2 main event, that would totally work for me. I would be very satisfied if I got that 3-way.
Want to throw it out there if I'm overstepping?
Then you could do something cool where you could have Cody retain, but it'd be really cool if you had Kevin Owens pick up the win, because he could pin Randy Orton, and then Cody never really lost his belt. And then you could tell an extended story for months after Mania 41 between the three of them. But if you don't want to do that triple threat, and you have Cody just beat Kevin Owens and he's done with him and he washes him away from everything, then you could do Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton for the WWE Championship. That to me is a night 1, night 2 Mania match, and you could have much more of a disgruntled Randy Orton going up against Cody Rhodes. I'd personally like to see it because I think the two of them can tell a really good story. You could have them go into it as babyface, because I do worry sometimes that if it's Punk versus Cody or Randy versus Cody, some of the crowd, not everybody, but some of the crowd will be like, hey, we're gonna cheer for Randy Orton, we're gonna cheer for the other guy. Because Cody is such a just white meat babyface, traditional babyface. Randy's cool, and people love the Legend Killer. And if he came out with his old theme song too, people would go absolutely insane. So you could have Randy turn heel during the title match, and then he takes that belt from Cody Rhodes. I kind of just want to see Cody lose the belt at some point to somebody, because I don't like the very long title reigns anymore. I like when they mix it up a little bit, have a little bit more fun.
Perhaps play a little game called Just the Tip.
But a final Cody match you could have. That would work quite well. And I've seen this in the comments before. It's going to be John Cena versus Cody Rhodes for the title. You could do that at WrestleMania. It's a massive match. And hey, even if you had The Rock and Roman going at it on night 2, you could do Cena and Cody at Mania anyways. Maybe that's a main event, maybe it's not, maybe it opens the show. But if Rock's out of the picture, Cena and Cody is there in your back pocket as well, and it's intriguing, and the whole story leading up to WrestleMania can be John Cena trying to break the record of Ric Flair. And I'd like to see it, because then Cena could just like win the title and then keep going with the belt until he loses and then finally retires altogether. But John Cena's final WrestleMania match against Cody Rhodes, two massive baby faces, a little bit of a passing of the torch there. You've had the two of them where John Cena has raised the hand of Cody Rhodes before he won the belt. You had John Cena involved in WrestleMania 40 in that main event moment, and he got taken out by The Rock. You could tell a really cool story, and you have the X Factor of the title belt, and it would feel kind of like a Rock, Cena, Hogan, Rock like they did before. But two massive baby faces, one legend, your current champion. It's a blockbuster main event that I think they should probably try to aim to do, or again, at least have ready to go. The final one on my list, and you guys may have way more, and why, by the way, why are there no women on this? It's not because I don't want it. You could do a number of women's matches as main event. The problem for me right now is that they haven't done a great job building up any other contenders other than Rhea and Liv going at it indefinitely, Nia Jax and Bayley. You don't have anybody right now built to what I consider a main event, night 1, night 2 main event for a title. Like, could you do Rhea and Liv for the night 1 main event? Maybe, but it's been going on forever and it just doesn't feel as very interesting.
Try to make her a superstar.
Could you have a return of Charlotte Flair going up against maybe Rhea Ripley and redo that match? Sure. Still doesn't feel like a main event. Bianca versus Rhea, you could do that. There are options. Becky would come back, but do you want to have Becky in another main event? You see what I mean? I don't feel like any of the women's stories right now currently are really gunning for main event spots. But the final one I have on my list anyways for today is going to be CM Punk. Yes, one more time CM Punk. And the option would be because he wants a main event. He wants to get a main event at WrestleMania no matter what. Not necessarily for the title. He just wants to have the main event. He's obsessed about the main event spot. He wants it as the biggest match possible. One of the biggest matches he could have, and if he can't get The Rock, you could do Stone Cold Steve Austin. It's on my wish list as a fan just forever. I want to see it. Give me a style of the Kevin Owens Austin match where it's just a brawl. The promos that you could have between these two, and you could have it just as CM Punk gets the roadblock along the way, and he wants that main event match, and he tries to coerce Stone Cold out of retirement to come and fight him for the main event of WrestleMania. That'd be enough of a payday for Austin, and he gets a Mania main event.
Give us some money!
It's not Rock and Roman, but you have arguably one of the biggest superstars today, or currently again, CM Punk, against the Legend of Austin. Austin sells Mania tickets. You didn't get them last year, and this story is one that they have not told, and clock's a ticking. You may not be able to do it ever again. But I'm sure there's others. So what's on your list? Let me know in the comments below. If The Rock is not coming back, what would you do? And help me out, guys. If you can, hit subscribe on the channel and a like on the video, because it helps us grow, because we're trying to get to like 20, 30, 40, 50,000 subscribers here on the channel. So I appreciate your support. Have a great day. See ya.